Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to Newspaper Analysis Townhall. And today is 15th of July, and we will try to cover these 5 themes in our video. So the first topic and the first editorial is written by Dr. Shashi Tharoor, who has been in news recently because he has led India's diplomatic outreach after Operation Sindoor to various countries. And he has written this article regarding India and Europe walking in step. So we will try to figure out why Europe is now important for India, why India is important for Europe, what are the changes, what are the global shifts that are happening, which are making both of these countries come to work together. So we will see these 3 aspects in our analysis for this editorial. Now, let us begin. What is the core message? What is the core message Dr. Shashi Tharoor is trying to tell? Dr. Shashi Tharoor is trying to tell that India and Europe must come closer. India and Europe has civilizational ties. India and Europe in the present context has shared values of democracy and rule-based world order, and India-Europe engagement should be driven by purpose. What is going to be that purpose? Now let us try to see. So the core message is that India and Europe must deepen strategic, economic and technical ties to shape a multipolar, stable world order. Why? Because global power shifts are happening. What is the very important shift that has happened in Europe or the Western world? One of the most important changes that has happened after World War II is that US is now not dependable force. Europe is not able to trust United States for its own safety. So that is the most important change that has happened. Next point is that there is a very high trade potential between India and Europe, which we'll see after some time. What is the potential for that trade? And if India and Europe lead in innovation, security means defense, and global governance, they would be able to provide a template for multipolar world order. They would be able to provide template for stable world. And there is need to counter hegemony. Obviously, there is need to counter hegemony of United States. There is need to counter emerging hegemony of China. There is need to counter a situation of bipolar world order. Now let us try to see what are the strategic convergence. Obviously, we have discussed that Europe is pursuing strategic autonomy from United States because United States is now not dependable. United States is skeptic about NATO. United States President Trump follows transactional foreign policy. He is forcing European partners to increase their spending for defense. Especially we have seen that in the context of Russia-Ukraine war. Now India is also adopting multi-alignment policy for multipolar world order. India is aligned with his interest. So India is also deeply interested in improving its ties with European Union. And as discussed, we have rule-based world or global order as our shared goal. Now let us try to figure out the economic potential in India-EU partnership. So from 2015 to 2022, EU's FDI in India has increased by 70%. And as per this article, French FDI has increased by phenomenal 370%. 3%. It means that there is huge potential. And now there is India-EU trade and investment agreement, which is stuck. Now Dr. Shashi Tharoor is arguing that there is need to fast track this agreement. There is need for an early harvest agreement. Just like we are trying to do a mini trade deal with US. And then there is this project, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. And as per Dr. Shashi Tharoor, it can become a new Silk Route for the world. It can benefit India, it can benefit Global South, and it can answer the challenge posed by China. So therefore, these are the reasons why we should have good economic and technological cooperation. Now, in order to do all these things, there are a few things that are required to be done. Number one, that both sides must invest in human mobility. So the European countries must not create challenges for Indian skilled workers to move to their countries. So that is why a comprehensive mobility agreement for students, scientists, scholars will enrich the talent pool. Secondly, there is need for tech partnership because Europe has leadership in deep tech, digital manufacturing, semiconductors, and India has, leadership in software, digital public goods, and scalable platforms. So both countries can lead in clean energy innovation, biotech, ocean sustainability, food security, and resilient healthcare system. So this is very important. Apart from these two, what is more important is that we should also deepen our defense engagement in line with Atmanirbhar Bharat policy. We can improve technology transfer and co-development, maritime cooperation. And there is also expectation that Europe must adopt a firmer line on Pakistan, because that is very important from India's perspective. So these are few important messages in this article, and there is one quote that you can use in answer writing if there is a question on Europe. And you can use actually this quote even if there is a question on India, US, India, China, because there you can link it with India's partnership with Europe as counterbalance to these partnerships. Now let us try to move to our next article. So next article is about women, STEM careers, and a more receptive industry. So please try to remember that July 15 is World Youth Skills Day. July 15, and that is why this article has come today. What is STEM? STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So this article is talking about the challenges women are facing in science, technology, engineering, mathematics career, and why there is need for industry to act apart from government. So government has created various policies, various schemes, but there is need for the industry to also step up in this direction. Now, what is this paradox? Paradox is that if we will see STEM graduates in India, it is 43% are women. It is one of the highest in emerging world, in emerging economies. However, if we see in the workforce, only 27% of the work force is in STEM is women. So you can see 43% graduates are there who are women in STEM, but 27% of workforce. It means that there is a huge gap between skilling and employment. Women are not getting employment opportunity at par with men. Why? Why they are not getting it? Let us try to see what are the systematic barriers. So, first barrier is societal expectation. What are societal expectation? For example, there are some persistent social norms such as mechanical means masculine. Coding isn't for girls. So if you are engineer, you would see that engineering branch would have very few women taking up mechanical engineering, because there is a social perception that mechanical is not for women, coding is not for girls. So these are invisible barriers that are already there. Now, there are issues with workplace safety. The workplace environment is not welcoming, especially for women who are mothers. So in many of the workplace, they cannot carry their child with them. There is very less flexibility for such women employees, and they face barriers in formal employment. So you can see this from this data that as per Periodic Labor Force Survey, PLFS, India's overall female labor force participation has risen to 41.7%. That is a very good number. However, if you will see, the increase is 47.6% for rural, and in urban areas it is only 25.4%. It means that there is a barrier in formal employment. Then, as we have already discussed, the roles are deeply gendered. There is policy and industry gap. There are a lot of government policies, however, industry support is lacking. Now, why industries must act? Because as per the data given in the article, if 68 million women participate in the workforce in India, Indian GDP can get boost of $700 billion. So that is a huge economic impact. Skilling efforts. So there are various schemes such as Skill India, Digital India, National Education Policy 2020, which are enabling the technical education. However, there is need for better linkage with industry. What is the role of private sector? They should increase the mentorship program for women. Industry linked training should be provided, and workplace reform should take place. And as more and more women will take up career in STEM, it will also lead to equitable development. So these are all the things that are important in this article, and you can use this quote for any question that may come up. And there is one prelims related information, that is this UN Women 𝐻 program. So this question can be asked in prelims examination. It is being implemented in collaboration with Government of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Micron Foundation. So program provides access to skill and bridges the talent gap by engaging families, community leaders, conducting workplace safety session, and introducing women role models in classroom. The program recognizes that skill building requires a shift in mindset. So you can use this as best practice also in your mains answer writing. This is important. Now let us try to move on to our next topic. And next topic is this news about Machilipatnam Port. So this is an ancient port There is one question that has already come in 2017 prelims. Which of the following was very important seaport in Kakatiya Kingdom? So answer was Motupalli. However, there is mention of Machilipatnam Port in the option. So this is an ancient port on the mouth of river Krishna. And you can see the location of this port in Andhra Pradesh coast. And if you'll see that apart from Machilipatnam, there is Motupalli and Kantashala port. These are also ancient ports that are there in Andhra Pradesh. So Machilipatnam port has been important in Satvahana rule, and it has also been important under Golconda rulers. Here it was known for muslin trade. So these are the facts that you need to remember if there is any question in prelims regarding Machilipatnam port. Let us move on to our next news. Next news is famous for its rhinos, Kaziranga records high diversity of grassland birds in survey. So we have done this Kaziranga in our earlier episode also. Now let us try to look and see few species that are important which are given in this article and may come in prelims examination. So the first species that is mentioned in this article is Bengal florican. So this is Bengal florican. It is critically endangered. The IUCN status is critically endangered. It is an important bird species of grasslands. Now, second and the most important species that is there, and that is also the highlight of this survey, and this species is Fin's weaver. This is Fin's weaver. You can see this is yellow bird. It is not very big. It is a small bird, Fin's weaver. And this is IUCN status is endangered. And there is something important that is there, that Fin's weaver is locally known as Tukura chorai. And this is a remarkable bird, a master nest builder atop trees. And this is also vital indicator of grassland health. So it is important for grassland health. It is a master nest builder on top of tree. So these are few facts that are important, and the IUCN status is endangered. So the last bird that is mentioned here is swamp grass babbler. So this is swamp grass babbler. It is also endangered, and this bird is primarily native of Brahmaputra floodplain. However, it is also found and sighted in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh. Let us try to move to our last news. So last news is that Australia hosts the largest drills involving 19 nations with chances of Chinese scrutiny. So what is the name? Name is Exercise Talisman Saber. Please remember this name. It is important for prelims. 19 countries, including India. Please tell whether US is part of this exercise Talisman Saber or not in comments. Please write. So this Talisman Saber began in 2005. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, you can write it in comments.